Hello and welcome to Bonhill Geography. Today we'll be exploring development of different countries over time. Across human history, nations rise, evolve and adapt to new challenges. The story of development is long, complex and always changing. To understand how countries grow over time, it helps to start with the Western world. Over the past few centuries, Europe and North America transformed dramatically through industrialization, technological progress and the building of strong institutions. These changes shifted societies from largely rural economies to high-income modern states. Today, many Western nations enjoy long life expectancies, high levels of education, advanced infrastructure and strong international influence. But the future does bring new challenges: aging populations, climate change and persistent inequality. For these countries, development is no longer just about economic growth, it's about sustainability, inclusion and resilience. One common way researchers compare levels of development is by looking at income per person. The World Bank categorises countries into low income, middle income and high income groups using GNI or GDP per capita. Low income countries typically earn around $1,135 per person. Newly emerging economies or middle-income countries fall between that and the high-income threshold of $13,095. In simple terms, higher income usually means more money available for governments and citizens, more investment, more infrastructure and better services. This isn't always the case, however. But income alone doesn't tell the whole story. A truly developed nation depends on the well-being and skills of its people. Life expectancy, healthcare access, literacy and education levels shape how prosperous a country can become. High-income countries often have average life expectancies of around 80 years and high literacy rates, reflecting decades of investment in public health and schooling. In contrast, many low-income countries still struggle with preventable diseases, limited healthcare, and barriers to education, which restrict opportunities and slow down development. When we combine economic data with health and education, we can gain a clearer picture of human development, one that GDP alone cannot provide. Yet even countries with potential to face obstacles can hold them back. Conflict is one of the most destructive barriers to development. Sudan is a powerful example. Its recent civil conflict caused its GDP to collapse, damaged infrastructure, disrupted schools and hospitals, and displaced millions of people. War breaks down at the very systems that development relies upon. However, geography can also limit progress. Malawi, for instance, is a landlocked country. Without direct access to the coastline, it depends on neighbouring countries' ports and transport networks. This makes trade expensive and unpredictable, which in turn restricts economic growth. Other nations struggle not because of geography, but because of governance. Equatorial Guinea is rich in oil, but large portions of the population do not benefit from this wealth. When corruption is widespread and resources are controlled by a small elite, national income fails to translate into national development. And then there's countries threatened by environmental hazards. Bangladesh, for example, is often described as a newly emerging economy. This is extremely vulnerable to flooding, cyclones and rising sea levels. Recent floods in the news in 2025 have displaced hundreds of thousands of people, everyone moving towards Dhaka, with damaged crops, destroyed homes, and forced entire communities to move. These climate-driven disasters create climate refugees and make development far harder when progress is otherwise strong. All of these examples show that development is multi-dimensional. And today we use 5 pillars to understand what sustainable development truly requires: people, planet, prosperity, peace and partnership. People refers to everyone ensuring has access to health, education and opportunities. Because without a strong skilled population, no nation can grow. Planet reminds us that development must be environmentally sustainable. When natural resources are destroyed or climate risks rise, progress becomes fragile. Prosperity means stable, inclusive economic growth where wealth is shared broadly, not concentrated among a few. Peace is essential because conflict disrupts every aspect of society and can reverse decades of progress in a matter of months. And finally, partnership. highlight the importance of cooperation between communities, regions, and between countries. For example, landlocked countries need access to trade routes, climate vulnerable nations need global support for adaptation, and all nations need to benefit from fair, transparent institutions. When these 5 pillars work together, countries can develop steadily over time. When even one collapses through war, corruption, climate disaster, or inequality, development slows down or reverses. The story of global development is not only about becoming wealthier, it's about building societies that are healthier, safer, and more sustainable. Real progress means creating a world where all people, everywhere, have the chance to thrive.